Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Still Talking Podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Smith. Thank you guys for tuning in. With me, as always, my co-host, Max Harris and Brenner Smith. He needs to get off his fucking phone.
What up?
My bad, boss.
This motherfucker.
Yes, I'm master.
Yes,
He
right now, son.
contributes the bare minimum, and then he comes in here and fucks around on his phone.
Hey, man.
Yeah, but you
I
should
just
see
need
those
to be
those
present.
fucking fire ass Snapchat pictures that he takes.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
worth it in the end.
Right.
Yeah, I used to
All
see
that
my,
promotion.
see my DMs right now.
Shut the fuck up. Ooh.
Desert, dry.
I've been ripping on Max for 30 minutes. He's
He
coming
said-
back.
He said, no hope.
No, it was just cap.
If you got the
So-
sickness, not the thickness.
In our last weekly podcast, I said I was going to make an announcement, and I probably will do it separately from this. But if you
Oh
haven't
shit,
heard,
are you gay?
shut the fuck up.
Damn it, Nate! I didn't think you were coming out today, man. I would have got the balloons.
I'm excited. Our podcast is going places now.
Yeah,
we got a gay guy.
A gay
We
guy.
got a gay guy.
Gay guy. Gay. Now we just need a black guy.
Brenner's
Yes.
dude.
Multicultural, absolutely.
We're all
Sorry, go ahead.
I think that's like that's like the go-to is like a black guy. We need like
An Asian.
Indian, yeah, like an Asian,
Yeah.
like a Tim DeLeGhetto. You know?
Absolutely.
Timothy.
I don't like Asians, man.
Woof.
What?
I'm just kidding.
He said, I was like, wow.
He said,
Whoa, it was getting really tense.
He
in
said,
here.
"Wuhan, be gone." You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
He said Wu-Tang or nothing. Like,
Wu-Tang or die. So I don't know if I've already released the video or not, but if you haven't heard, all of our events with Peak, all the pyramid events, the Bryce Mitchell fight,
our comedy jam.
all of our, I was getting to that.
Oh,
All of our interviews,
That was our
all of
team.
the documentary stuff, you know, everything. Our event, everything has all been canceled until further notice. I'm not really sure what exactly is
Pandemic.
going on. We just kind of gotta.
Be safe out there, man.
We gotta really worry about this flu that's, got a
That damn
98%
Rona, man.
survival rate, man. That's
Damn
just
Rona.
way too low
Yeah.
for a fucking chest cold nowadays. So we gotta quarantine.
And you have to think about all those 85 plus members that are going to be coming to our comedy jam.
Yeah,
There's a lot
they're definitely.
They're gonna be
that's
fucking-
half our demographic.
Yeah, exactly. Color TV and sliced bread. God damn it. What's next?
Weird Beer Comedy Jam.
Weird Beer Comedy Jam.
That's it. So all that stuff has been moved around. I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't lose my mind and
Yeah,
break
Nate,
some
Nate
stuff.
called me crying pretty
Yes,
hard.
I was not crying.
He was.
No, he did the
really
exact
upset.
opposite, which was actually even more looming, was the fact that I woke up and just was scrolling through Facebook and there was just a post of everything canceled. He didn't call me about it or anything. He was like, Brenner's a fan of ours, he'll see the post. And he just like scrolled through and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I guess I don't have to fucking, woo, goddamn,
God,
goddamn.
I'm stressed over that.
No, I was actually super fucking excited about it. I mean, it's still gonna happen no matter what. I mean, I don't care if you decided that we're gonna go 3 weeks from now. I'm ready to roll. But
If I mean, it just sucks because all the comedy shows I wanted to go to was gonna do some stand up, and
Yeah.
I was
Get
gonna
some
go to
experience.
Texas and do a couple down there,
Get some
man.
dick
but
wet
it's
and all
just,
that.
that was for
Oh,
me,
weird.
not you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, I know I'm taking two. Never mind.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like test the
But
waters.
it's just, a lot of shit. A lot of stuff got put off and got canceled. But anyway, today we're here to talk about the story of the Barefoot Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
What a fucking OG.
OG. Okay.
Colton Harris. What's his
Moore.
name? Colton Harris Moore.
So- I'll just start. The best way to start the story, I guess, would be to say that at 17 years old, he escapes from a halfway house because he was arrested at 15 years old and got 3 years for breaking and entering and
Yeah.
fraudulent use of a credit card.
Yeah.
He would break into people's houses, order stuff, and then
Yeah.
Which this is something that you all have to be alert about. This is back in like what 2010.
yeah. So
Right.
this is like way more
Well-
trackable now. You can't.
Well, but in 2010, I mean, he was still stealing credit card information and stuff. I mean, like, that shit's easy to do. I've talked to a lot of people that can do that, and they're like, you would be surprised how easy it is to steal people's credit card information.
Yeah. But, so he did 3 years, or he didn't do 3 years. He did 2, and then he broke out at 17. He's from Camano Island.
In Washington.
Yeah.
Washington State.
In Washington State,
Yeah.
Camano Island. after he broke out, he stole a Mercedes to get back to Commando Island, and he ends up getting in a police chase. And he's like, cop says that the car's behind him. It's going 60 miles an hour. He hops out the car,
jumped out of that motherfucker.
Hits the grass in a roll.
This is
takes off for the woods, and the car smashes into the side.
The kid is fucking impeccable at crashing and getting away with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. Like,
I'm waiting for a bomb to tell him the craziest parts.
I remember falling out of a truck one time going like 30 miles an hour, and I thought I was gonna fucking die. This kid's done it like multiple times. It's like it's nothing. At 60 miles an hour or more. Yeah.
I was gonna say he's called the Barefoot Bandit. I don't know how real. I mean, I'm assuming he actually was barefoot all the time. They made it a point in the documentary to like. And all the actual footage of him robbing these stores and shit, he was barefoot.
I believe it 100%. I have actually. What's funny is that in my life, from Michigan to here, Canada to here, I've met a couple of people that are like, no, I don't fuck with shoes.
I don't wear shoes.
Oh,
I don't
no,
wear
no.
shoes.
I know a guy.
Not even like I'm poor, I don't have shoes, but just like I don't fuck with shoes.
I know a guy named Matt Cruz, man. He's so country. Like we'd pull up at the store, and I'd be like, "Bro, you didn't wear shoes?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No," and I was like,
you're the weird one? No.
I was like, "We got in the car, going to Walmart. You knew, we were coming inside the store." And this motherfucker.
He's like, it's a 50-50 rule, okay? No shirt, no shoes, no service. I have shirt, service. All right. Like
maybe, maybe.
Yeah, maybe he had the shirt on.
Have the shirt on. Cool ass dude, super cool guy, but just blew me away.
I'll say that about the people that I've known too, is that I've never met somebody who's like fuck shoes and then been like fuck that guy. They're usually super cool people.
Yeah, it was.
You gotta sit a little further away because they usually don't wear deodorant and shit like that.
It was only so crazy to me because that was the first time I found out. I was like,
you don't wear
why
shoes?
aren't you wearing shoes?
Yeah. He's like, every other time we've been at your house, so it's been okay, but now.
Everybody
we were barefoot at the crib, but
like I said, I really did feel like the odd man out because everybody was like, "Oh man, never wear shoes."
No, never wear shoes. Look at the bottom of his feet. Boy.
I was like, nobody told me about this. I was like, no one told me he doesn't wear shoes. But
his shoe got built-in foam posits on him because of how much calluses are built around.
So anyway, after he jumps out of this car and dips into the woods, the cops stopped and they said right before he disappeared into the wood line, he like flipped them off.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a whole big manhunt, but so this kid is actually like 6'5", 230 pounds and 17. I thought he looked small because I guess he's so tall. Like he looks short and skinny.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5", 230.
Well, and I was gonna say that too because I saw a picture of him once they released him, and he looks like a big guy to where I was like, well, fuck, prison must have done something to him, like, because that's not how he looks in the documentary.
But even at 17 though, he could disable alarm systems before he could like, go in. He could like chase him outside, disable him, and then break in so no alarms would go off.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But,
by the way, I mean there are multiple documentaries that you can watch on this, which is what we're trying to kind of get y'all to do if you're interested at all.
I'll drop.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I'll drop the link to the documentary that I watched, or one of the cool ones that I watched.
Good, good production for sure. Shout out to them. I don't know who it is off the top of my head, but
yeah, this guy actually he came from a really bad home life. I guess they talked about it. He was super poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both of his parents were alcoholics. They were both abusive. His dad was absent. You know.
It was like on and off for a while, and then he split eventually for good.
And he just wanted to be a pilot, man.
Which is one of those things to where like people talk about. It's like having an absent father or having a father there. That like showing up and leaving shit all the time, that'll really fuck a kid up, man. You know what I mean? Even worse than just not having a dad or having a shitty dad that's there all the time. I don't want to like downplay anybody's situation, but like that'll really fuck with a kid's head having someone just show up, leave, show up, leave, show up, and then leave for good. You know?
But his dad was physically abusive and his mom was physically and apparently like verbally abusive. She like really treated him really bad. She didn't keep food in the house. She was an alcoholic. Both of his parents were alcoholics. So he was just dealt. You know, it doesn't excuse anything he did, but he was dealt a really hard life.
Yeah, there's a scene in that documentary where she says, "Well, he loved my breakfast because I made him these homemade hash browns that I would do from scratch." And it's like, yeah, because it's probably the first food he's seen in a fucking while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're making the fucking hash browns fresh because Like, there's no food in the fucking house, so you went and got taters real quick. Like,
it sucks, man. You know what I mean? It sucks for the guy. But he's a smart kid. He ended up
really smart. Everything that we tell you about, that we're about to talk about that he's done,
he taught himself how to do it.
Self-educated. There's stuff in the documentary that they talk about, and like with his life, that he didn't have a lot of schooling.
And he was on the run the whole time, like off in the woods.
Yeah.
Buddy's house here and there. It wasn't like he had somewhere and he was going
He
back
was
and
stealing information. What's y'all's excuse?
Yeah.
just one comment, just like kind of show you kind of what his kind of person his mom is. The news one time asked her what if she could give him a Christmas present.
That was
a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. From a mother, like.
That's funny. Like as a comedian, that's funny. But as a parent, that's not funny.
Something like that.
That's encouraging your kid.
I feel like really one of the only. Well, there's like two acceptable answers as a good parent, and that would be, I want him to know I love him, or no comment. I'm not going to answer that question. Get the fuck out of my face. That would be like the two acceptable answers as a good response.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be talking.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be no comment. Why are you asking me shit like that? Bring my kid home. That's my Christmas present.
Yeah, I agree there, because as a parent, like, there's a sense of, like, I mean, obviously I would never turn my kid in if they were, even if my kid murdered somebody, I would never turn my kid in. But, if I talked to him, I'd be like, hey, you need to turn yourself in. I would tell him the truth.
It's not looking that good for you, man.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, you're just going to make it worse.
You fought the law and the law wins.
Exactly. Like, you can't beat the government.
Yeah, bro.
You just can't beat
I mean...
He almost did, though.
He almost did. If he'd have laid low...
Little shit.
If he'd have laid low... Well, there's a point where the cops catch up real close to him after...
No. Let's get back. We got it on a timeline.
Yeah.
Alright,
Fuck you, Brenner!
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
God damn!
So, after he gets back to Kamano Island, eventually Kamano Island, he breaks into a restaurant, steals a credit card, and he orders a couple things.
Oh, this is fucking so OG.
Buys a flight manual on how to like fly planes, because apparently his whole life he's wanted to fly planes, and he was drawing pictures.
I want to make this comment though, real quick, before you go any further. When he broke into the restaurant, stole the restaurant's credit card, ordered the manuals to the restaurant's location, and then he tracked his order, blah, 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 staked out the fucking restaurant when he knew it was coming, then broke into that restaurant after hours and took his fucking package.
Yeah. That was OG.
When you fucking set your mind to something,
there's
nothing you can't accomplish.
Just saying.
You want to be a criminal? Set your mind to it, son.
But he orders, okay, so other purchases that he was making, he was doing this quite often, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like survival gear and stuff.
He was just a restaurant he ordered the flight manuals from. He ordered hundreds of flight manuals. He ordered GPS, hacking equipment, outdoor gear, porn, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, porn was a big one. He was also staking out airports and breaking into planes before stealing them.
Yeah.
And grabbing manuals out of those and learning and just, you know what I mean?
The news was going crazy too at that time around there. He got kind of like big and famous after he broke into a cop car and a fire truck and like a first aid truck.
Yeah.
He stole like first aid kits and stuff.
Like a rifle and some ammunition.
Yeah.
And it was like, and by rifle it was like an AK or something. I mean, not an AK, but like an M16 or whatever they use. Yeah. It's like an M15 that they use or something like that.
3-round burst.
Yeah.
So he got kind of like big after he broke into some, federal officers.
He never did
all this time. Well, all this time, I was just about to say he had never done anything violent. He had never popped shots at this point or anything like that at anybody.
He never harmed anybody he was stealing from. He never.
It was just like that. It was business owners that were like, "We need to fucking catch this guy," but then the working class was like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah,
like,
there was a fucking.
It was Robin Hood.
There was a town meeting they showed on camera. And it was like this guy was like, "We all want him caught. Most of us
want him dead." Yeah,
and it's like almost the entire crowd booed him though. So it was like, But anyway, so he gets up. He flight manuals, hundreds of searches online. He watches I think they said like over 100 hours he watched on YouTube fucking all kinds of shit. One thing he did was he stole an infrared camera from the fire department, or that's what it was. He stole from the fire station.
Well, he stole from both, but he stole from the fire station and the police. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that's what I said. He broke into a fire truck or a fire truck.
Yeah.
He broke into the fire station and stole an infrared camera so he could see if people were inside the houses he was going to break into. So, which is crazy, but that's one thing.
Like, he wanted to be a professional criminal, bro.
And that's what it was. He had a partner or somebody that he knew, and he straight told him. He said, I talked to him, and he seemed like an educated guy, and he straight told me that he wanted to be a criminal. And it's like, God, man, fuck it.
I mean, dude, you like, all right, that's dumb, but you can't knock the kid for being like.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's dumb.
You gotta own that.
I'm not gonna say it's dumb. You want to be a murderer or something like that?
That's dumb.
That's dumb. But for you to be like, I want to be a fucking thief.
I
would absolutely tell you, I hope you, best of luck to you, brother.
I'm hoping,
break the man off.
Like, yeah.
I'm hoping that you're like this kid, you're not like petty criming.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't come steal from me. But like, if you want to fuck Walmart,
yeah,
go fuck
Walmart.
Like,
if you're gonna hit Walmart up for like 50 racks, do that shit.
For sure. I'll buy a TV if you boost it. Like, absolutely.
Anyway, he watches over 100 hours of instructional videos on YouTube they had found.
Just a fucking succubus for information, man. That's what the kid was.
He's a smart kid.
Just a sponge for information.
I want to know what he's doing with his life now, because I'm sure he's putting out that.
We'll do a follow-up episode.
I'm sure he's a hustler.
We'll do a follow-up segment next week on our next podcast.
Yeah.
So he steals a fucking plane. Crazy. At 17 years old, could you imagine reading books and watching videos
and then doing it? Yeah, I mean, fucking
Jesus, like that is crazy, bro. Crazy.
No, the amount of balls on the kid is not even fucking in question. Like, you know what I mean? Stupid, right, wrong, indifference. The kid's got more courage than could be put in this room. You know what I mean?
Bro.
For sure.
Yeah. Crazy shit, man.
I'm not telling kids to be criminals.
Don't steal a fucking plane.
Yeah, don't steal planes or anything like that, but be committed.
I'm going to go ahead and drop the number. He stole 5 planes in all, and he crashed every single one of them.
Was it every one of them? Yeah, I mean...
I mentioned that. I was like, you'd think he would have got good at, like, landing them motherfuckers.
But he did get good at crashing.
But, like, if you can land...
He got good at crashing. Imagine what he would do with a paved road. Like,
they discovered... where he was at every time, because the other hand is a crashed plane over here in the field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nowadays
if
with
he
kids,
learned how to land them motherfuckers and like hit them, then they would have lost his trail.
Nowadays with kids, you got motherfuckers getting out of a fender bender. This motherfucker's crashing a plane and he's like
in the woods barefoot.
He's like, yeah, all right, let's roll.
And it's not like
coming out of the west.
It's not like he crashed. Okay, because he stole a plane and he crashes it.
The first one was a crash.
Accident.
The first one was a crash because of a storm. It was a bad storm. Yeah.
Well, okay, the first one he crashed off Commando Island. The second one he stole, he crashes it in Indiana.
Yeah. Is that the one with the stumps?
Know. Yes.
Bro, oh my God, that was such a fucking. He circles it and sees a clear strip inside this woods, just a fucking flat, and he's like, okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna put it down there. And he comes down just like this keyboard, just a flat spot. He comes down. Gets to about right here, and he goes, oh, they haven't taken any of these stumps out of the trees that were here. And they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. Still got out of that motherfucker like he crashed a moped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were interviewing the guy who landed it was, or whoever who found the wreck, and they were like, they brought all these FBI guys.
Yeah, he was laughing at him.
And I was like, man, this crashed 2 days ago. He ain't nowhere near here.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And that's like that's when you said the guys getting out of fender benders, talking about they're hurt and stuff. It's like this guy crashed a plane, hopped out, ran into the woods in a place he's never fucking been.
I think
his life.
I think the biggest thing.
Another airplane. What didn't he he was like
he stole
cars.
another airplane. They don't say it. Rolled the fuck home.
They don't say it verbatim like what it is, but they talk about how like his side really hurt afterwards. So this motherfucker crashed a plane and had like a cracked rib at best because it wasn't broken if he's walking around like that. He had a cracked rib at best.
Those motherfuckers hurt.
Oh, cracked rib? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't even laugh or breathe right. But still, he's walking around barefooted, this, that, and the other. Like, fuck.
Driving to the gas ran out, and then they're stealing another car and driving into the gas ran out across country.
No. I don't think it was even that much of the time. When he stole a car, he had it for a while.
No. When he crashed in Indiana, he heels up, stole another plane in Idaho.
And went,
What? Okay, no. What it was is at that point he caught that. He hitchhiked into Canada. With
with the band,
guys,
yeah. Shout out Canada and everybody who lives there.
And then he ends up back in Idaho, across the border where he steals a plane. He crashes.
Could you imagine that though? Like
he goes from Camano, Washington, crashes in Indiana, sneaks across the border, catches the ride, gets back to Idaho, steals a plane, lands it in Camano, and that was the third plane he stole.
Well, what I really thought about,
crashed everyone.
and because there's a part in any documentary I'm sure that you read about him will mention it or look at, but he gets with a band that was just kind of driving through Canada, and he was hitchhiking. They pick him up, they give him a place to stay for the night, and then he goes on. You know what I mean? And that's something that's so, like, that could happen to us three right now. You know what I mean? We'd be driving somewhere, smoking a J, someone hitchhiking, and we're like, fuck it, we're going to pick them up. Could you imagine that, though?
I would never in my life pick up a hitchhiker.
Well, then we're from two different breeds.
That is way too Caucasian for me.
I've picked up hitchhikers, and I've been a hitchhiker. So these two people These two people in the room don't realize that they're Caucasian. That's something I've had to realize through our friendship. Going forward, something like that, and then all of a sudden you just read the next day and you're like, wow, that kid that we picked up the other day was a fucking felon. And you know what I mean? Because it's like the kid's fucking only 18 at this point. You know what I mean? Could you imagine that shit?
Just a couple, so the first plane he stole, I wanted to mention, you talk about adrenaline. What happened was the wind was so high when he came up over a ridge, the wind was so bad, it shot him straight up. His engine stalls. He free falls.
Yeah.
Pulls it so hard the engine comes back, and that's how he ends up crashing. Dude, you talk about and then he stole another one. Like, you know what I mean?
It was like, oh yeah, that was the shit.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Well, I mean, as far as how my mind would be working, it would be, okay, so I crashed the first one because of that storm. What's the chances it's going to happen again? Let's get it. You know what I mean?
And just a couple more.
That's me also saying that I would never have the balls to steal a plane in the first place.
Yeah, no, but I wouldn't.
Up to this point, they've kind of come across him a couple times, but he's like always on the move, and they just can't catch this kid.
Yeah, I know.
They cannot catch him. And there's a couple spots where they find his camp and stuff like that, and they found his dog one time, and they took his dog in, and his mom couldn't get the dog back.
So he got it back so when the mom called, it was at the animal shelter, but when the mom called up to get it, they were like, we're not allowed to release this dog because it's classified as evidence.
Oh, I thought it was at the police.
No. The police picked it up, but they gave it to the animal shelter and just was like, you can't release this until we're done with it. So when mom called up and was like, let me get that dog, they were like, no, it's evidence. And she was like, how the fuck is that even a thing?
I was so hyped. I was like, he broke into the police.
Well, but let's be honest though. Still, he broke into an animal shelter and the dogs didn't go off on him or anything until after he left.
That's how you know
he's a
bad person.
Oh, absolutely. Well, exactly. They jumped in and they're like, this ninja knows the way of honor. Let him be.
Yeah.
Pass freely. Pass freely, young warrior.
But so in spectacular fashion, he gets his dog back, steals it.
Which they never said what happened to the dog after that.
They almost got him at a sting at a rental cabin, and he fucking escaped because there was a rookie cop, and his hand was shaking. He said he saw the dude's hand shaking, so he dropped the glass he was holding and was out the door.
Well, their thing was, too, the guy that he was with, they when he went and picked him up, his partner, and went back to the house, he was telling him, he said, I got a house that I'm staying at. I'm doing some stuff, blah, blah, blah. I said, I turned off all the lights before I got there. We're going to roll up to it. When they got there, a light was on.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how you know these motherfuckers are dumb as shit, these cops. You're going to roll up to a pitch black house and turn a light on? You guys don't take note of that, you know?
And every time he escapes the police, he always hits them with the
every fucking time.
Every time.
Boom!
And this motherfucker stole a forklift, smashed an ATM with it.
Yep.
That's how he would
But
rob
that was like the second time that he robbed the ATM.
Yeah,
he had robbed other ones. The second time he was just like, okay.
He's so strong that he beat the fucking door off a safe with a crowbar.
With a crowbar, yeah. He smashed that motherfucker.
And he smashed an ATM and got money out of it. He's a smart kid, man. He's a smart guy. I mean,
you can tell some of the people are in comments or whatever, I'm sure people are going to tell me I'm a dick and that I'm wrong. But if you fucking own a business and you don't have insurance like that, fuck you. Because you could tell these motherfuckers were mad. Some of them were mad, and some of them were like, fucking State Farm paid that. I'm not worried about it. Some of them were like, yeah, we're mom and pop and we're dumb as fuck, so he broke in here and stole $10,000 out of our safe that we didn't have insured on anything. Yeah. And it's like, well, you're fucking retarded.
There was
like,
yeah.
You're an idiot.
There was
you own a business?
Yeah, exactly. You have $10,000 in a safe and you didn't take $300 to insure some shit?
I think that was the guy, the white lady with the woman they beat the safe. You can tell she didn't care. She was like, "Oh no, he just took the money and shit." Like,
yeah. Well, and they kept the safe too. They're like, now it's a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, anytime that you come in here, fucking Dave will talk your ear off about it.
The one people that tried to make a bust out of his footprints.
Oh my god.
And she got a death threat too. Yeah, they plaster casted or cement casted his footprints running through their property, and she tried to sell it on eBay as just kind of a thing. Not taking sides of one or the other, and she got like 3 different death threats. I hope you're the one that he killed.
He stole from her, like
yeah, exactly.
He stole from that lady. Like the fuck?
No, yeah, he came through my property and he took eggs out of my chicken coop.
Big ass feet though.
He ate my eggs.
Yeah, right.
Big ass feet.
Mm-hmm. He's got hobbit's feet, man. I'm telling you.
One OG shit when he was in one of those stores, they had concrete floors. And fucking before
he drew his own foot line.
It looks like if anyone wants to know, he drew like the foot like that Barefoot wine uses on their thing. It looks like that. He drew foots all around the floor.
It's just a very generic foot.
And then
like if you rolled up to a zoo to tell you the path, it's just that. But it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
You took the time. It's not like he did 1, 2, 3. He did like 16 of them. You know what I mean?
All
he took the time to do that shit.
It took a lot of time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he wrote "See ya" by the door. Oh.
He was sitting there and he was like, all right, so I stole all this money and have some fucking time to kill before I go back to the woods. Let's go ahead and draw.
Yeah.
Just to tell you how close they got to him one time, they rolled up on him in the woods after he had just hit a house and he was taking a leak and
This was when they took his dog, wasn't it?
No, this was a different time.
No, that was the time.
Yeah, that was the time.
They got that close to him that he
so this
left
was,
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I should have saved that story, then that was a little bit later. So yeah, that was the time, but he went to take a leak and you can't take a piss where you're camping because you don't want animals to run up on you. So he goes and takes a piss, and when they find his shit, man, he had 20 fucking racks, $20,000 in a fucking bank. Holy shit, 20 grand in a.
Well, I think that was the time too that when they spooked him is what it was, and he had the bat, and that was the first time that he became a violent offender because he had a gun on him. So he popped a couple of shots off just because they scared him.
Well, it's because they
when
had
he
dogs.
was running. Yeah, dogs.
I think if dogs hear shots, they're supposed to cease, like cops, police.
As far as their training goes.
Yeah, I think if you hear shots, they're supposed to cease because you don't want them
to get shot.
You don't want them running down a motherfucker with a gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless absolutely necessary. But I could be wrong in that, but I think that's what it was. So I think that's why he was shooting because they were.
Yeah, because he didn't clip anybody or anything like that. I mean, with that many cops coming at you, with as smart as the kid is, I'm sure if he wanted to shoot somebody, it would have been.
He would have shot them motherfuckers.
Absolutely, it would have been done.
But man, he just keeps escaping like time after time.
Well, and at this point, one of the biggest deals is he's getting so much press. People are getting pissed about him being made out to be a hero.
Like he's Robin Hood.
Which I'm not going to say he's a hero, but I like the guy. And at the time, if I would have been, because I don't remember this at the time,
yeah,
if I would have been known to the fact, I definitely would have been like, yeah, this guy's fucking dope. But they were getting pissed. Cops and business owners were like, no.
I'll say it, and for if my son ever sees this, it's wrong, and I'm not going to ever say that he was in the right no matter what the situation to steal anything.
But he's a badass.
But I'm not going to lie and say that I wouldn't buy him a beer.
Yeah, exactly,
you know
absolutely.
I wouldn't pay his tab for the night and kick it with the guy, you know what I mean? Talk to him a little bit. I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Get him on the podcast.
Should you go down the same path,
bro,
son?
he's not proud of that shit, though.
But will you see Daddy hanging out with this guy if I meet him? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Am I going to talk to him like he's...
I will make you call him Uncle. Like, that's Uncle Barefoot to you.
Uncle Barefoot. You guys, and at this time, the crazy thing is that he's not just stealing or robbing. He's robbing the same little towns on the same island while there's SWAT, police patrol increase, foot officers walking around, fucking search parties,
Yeah.
SWAT team,
All
headed by the FBI.
Eventually, it got so big that he had bounty hunters that
Yeah.
were out there free of charge.
Government contracted bounty hunters.
Fucking, and they were there
Working
free of charge. They were
yeah.
doing volunteer work out there, and I mean, there was a fucking bunch of them. I mean, they're all clowns, but there's a bunch of them. Like
Dog
that,
bounty hunters.
that includes the cops too. Every one of y'all clowns.
Clown motherfuckers.
But the best part was that like they was kind of like talking shit. They were like, he's 18.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, he's 18. We'll wrap this up
And
real quick, and then
he ran them
no.
motherfuckers in circles.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking clowns, man. My babysitter, who's super inexperienced, has more training than cops do.
Yeah, his
But
as these bounty hunters are chasing him and getting closer, he starts to like it. So he starts leaving clues and like antagonizing the bounty hunters, man, because they're making all these news appearances and they're like, he's not gonna know where we are. He's not gonna know where.
yeah, exactly. He ain't gonna know where we hit him. Like,
and these motherfuckers just run around like sitting on their hands, like can't do anything. It was so funny.
Fucking clowns.
Could not catch this kid, and they swore to God he was living within a mile of his mom's house, and they could not find him.
Well, there was another guy too, because that's what's funny. It wasn't even like he was a couple hundred yards from his mom's house, and he was also in the middle of two different points to where he was a couple hundred yards from another motherfucker's house too. That was like, yeah, this is the property where he was on. So it wasn't. I mean, like he was in some thick brush, but he wasn't in like the middle of the Appalachians where no one's around. You know what I mean? He was fucking in populated areas.
So time goes on, search drags out. They're still searching, can't find the Barefoot Bandit. He links up with a guy he was in the halfway house with, like locked up with, and he's trying to get this. They go stealing shit together. He tries to get this kid to fly with him. And the kid's like, "No, man, like,
Yeah, I ain't getting
I'm
no
not getting no
fucking
guy,
plane with
and no plane with you, bro. Like, obviously not."
But he was making up different excuses. He didn't ever say that.
He was like,
I did not happen. Yeah.
Steals a plane, flies to Costa Rica, like flies to Costa Rica.
He crashes it in the
because he's a boss
in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Stole a
crashes it in the Bahamas.
$600,000 plane,
And then crashed it to where when the fucking when the people like the recovery team, the salvage team brought it up, they were like, if somebody wants to put the money into this and the time, like this is still flyable. You can repair this and it's good. Crashed
like
it that well.
$3,000 is brand new.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like
so
if you
was
got,
like, I fix it up.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Right now.
Just like I said earlier in the podcast, he didn't get good at landing, but he got great at crashing.
Yeah,
He got great.
He was
But
a
I mean,
flyer.
honestly,
He
that's
was
the
a flyer.
options as a thief. Like you're not just gonna roll into ALX and fucking land.
That's
You
what
gotta learn. Yeah, like,
That's what the owner said. The owner said he crashed it. He said he was like, I don't exactly know how to tell you this, but he told me he crashed it so well. That
Yeah.
He crashed it so
it was
good.
fixable very well. Yeah.
It was insane. Like,
And
he was
then
like,
walked,
definitely worth
and
it.
then just walked.
And then
Not
he went to
even,
go
not
back
even
to-
hurting or anything like that, but literally just
Didn't
walked
he
off
steal a
fine.
boat and go to a different island?
Yeah, he hopped out. Was like,
Yeah.
roll out. Strolling
He looked
got
like
his
he was a
little.
GTA character, man.
I picture this guy walking through the woods like Johnny Appleseed with like the stick and the little
Yeah.
bandana backpack, and he's like, that's what I picture him as. And anyway, so he's in Costa Rica. He survives a couple weeks. Then he goes asking for trouble, man. He pulls up on these guys on the dock, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a Barefoot Bandit, Colton Harris Moore. There's a
Chase
reward
me.
out for me.
Yeah,
Call
chase
the
me."
cops, do something."
You could
yeah,
tell
I'm
though
bored.
that at
He said,
this
"I'm bored."
point, you could tell. I don't think like nobody necessarily wants to get caught,
But he knew.
but
his
he wanted it
options.
to end.
There has to be an end.
He didn't want to run anymore. Probably is
It's
what.
that's probably
yeah.
gonna suck, dude. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like,
I mean, like living in the woods is cool, but
because that's the thing is his friend was even
Like-
saying like our rule is you never stay in one spot more than one night.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like living 5 years never sleep in the same spot more than
at
once?
at 18, 19,
Yeah.
17, you know what I
For
mean? Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like nobody else. Like
Yeah.
you don't even got no shoes on. Like you
Yeah.
don't got no shoes, player.
Yeah.
Like,
I live here in regular civilization. I can't go more than a day without getting some pussy or something. I couldn't imagine living in the woods. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
these super gangster fucking boat harbor guys hop in this boat, try to chase him down. with
these
guns.
motherfuckers are the truth, honestly.
And
Like,
he dips on him. Comes back to the boat, dock, hops out, runs. There's cameras, there's video evidence of him like running through the little boat docks. And he flies through security.
and let's talk about this real quick just before you go on. there's been video evidence of like everything that he's hit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have got like a lot of video of this motherfucker. Now, granted, he'll twist cameras to where you don't see his face that much and stuff, but there is a lot. This goes to show just like how long ago this was, because he was getting away with.
He would turn the camera so you couldn't see him, and then he would sign his fucking name
Yeah.
on the note where he was telling you that he robbed you. I don't understand. Yeah, there was video evidence of everything. He definitely was.
Absolutely.
He would. That's what I understand.
Like if he ever gets caught, there's no question, or when he gets caught, there's no question. You know what I mean?
There was a point where he was like traveling across the country when he stole the fourth plane he stole, and he ended up having to get. That's when he was like stealing cars and shit. Ended up having to get back. He was like, that's the thing, is they were saying that like there was crimes he was committing they would have never known were him if he didn't sign his fucking name.
Yeah.
To him. If he didn't sign Colin Harris Moore, aka the Barefoot Bandit, and then sign his fucking town that he was from, dude, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Insane, craziest kid I've ever seen. But he gets away from.
He probably never thought he would get caught though.
So this kid, right? He gets away from the harbor guys with the thugs with the guns and shit. Dips out on him into the woods. The whole harbor's crawling with cops. He comes back, goes around the side, gets in the water, swims up to a boat, creeps up.
And I want to go back too though.
Yeah.
He ducked those motherfuckers out. These are people driving boats. This is like a harbor master who's got X amount of years on the water. Let's just say legally. He's been on the water his whole life. And this fucking kid from Washington just jukes him out on a little fucking like 30-foot scooter. Not even 30. What is it? It's like a it's like a fucking little flat bottom. Really, it's nothing. It's a little fucking flat bottom, and he just jukes these boys out like it's nothing. That's hard to do on open water. You know what I mean? That is hard to do on open water. This kid's fucking skilled at just about everything that he touches.
Even the boat guy was like, "Me?"
Yeah.
He was like, "You hit me with
Yeah.
that one?" You know. Yeah.
All respect too. He didn't try to get out of it. Nothing. He's like, that was skill. He juked me the fuck out.
But anyway, marina full of cops, sneaks up on the dock, hops in a boat, pulls out, and just like old school, they're like, "Wait a minute!"
Yeah.
There he is,
Yeah.
and they fucking pull off. Great chase. He gets stuck on a sandbar. Two fucking asshole Americans.
Yeah.
Fucking you let the police use their boat.
Yeah, they were like, "Come on, guys, jump into my boat and go." Yeah.
Oh.
And still, that was the thing though. When they got on him, when he was on the sandbar, they got on him, and they were like, "Listen, you're surrounded. Give it up." And so what he did was he pulled his gun out and put it to his head, and was like, "If y'all come near me, I'm gonna kill myself." The whole time that he's got the gun to his head, he's steering behind his back, bouncing on the sandbar, trying to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the kid's fucking smart. He wasn't gonna kill himself or anything, but he's like, "Don't shoot me while I get out of here real quick." You know what I mean? Or I'll shoot me.
What was crazy is that oh gosh, what was I gonna say? Before they took the boat and chased this kid down, these guys they were like, "Look, can we use your boat?" And they were like, "We gotta ask our parents."
Yeah. Hold on.
Fuck those guys, dude. Whoever those guys are, fuck them.
Fuck
Like,
you.
I hope they lost everything in the stock market crash.
Something.
Motherfuckers, like.
There's Corona going on right now, and I'm not gonna say anything bad, but.
And when they said they were like, "2 Americans helped," just like, "Motherfucker, dude, are you serious?" I'm like, "You're in a foreign country, you're gonna help capture an American, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
But you're already working and own a business in the fucking Bahamas. Can't you just leave it alone? I would any cop that rolled up on me to my business that I owned in the Bahamas, I'd be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, suck a dick.
What's up?
Okay,
They rolled up on me right now in America. I tell them the same thing. I don't bang government gangs.
Exactly.
I don't bang.
False claim.
Yeah, exactly. I don't rep government fucking flags, son. Like.
Anyway, he gets caught. Long story short, they run him down. He gets caught. They extradite him back to the United States. He ends up $1.4 million in damages in total.
Yeah.
ABC,
What you got?
ABC bought his life
Fox.
story. Fox. Fox bought his life story.
You know, they'll buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fucking buy anything.
Yeah, they pay
Trump.
He said fucking Trump. Fox bought his life story. and for $1.4 million, and that was to pay restitution to everybody who had stolen from her.
So he got fucking sentenced 7 years in 2010 and got
Washington
out
State
in
Penitentiary.
2016 because he paid them bitches, and that's what America runs on.
Yes,
is
sir.
Getting paid.
He said, so if you learn anything
flexed
from this
his white
If
documentary,
you
privilege.
learn
Go.
anything from this documentary, if you get a fucking ticket for jaywalking, lawyer up and play the game, because that's all they're waiting for is you to spend money, baby.
Yeah, they just want some
That's
money.
all they want you to do is spend money.
thank you guys for tuning in, man. That's all we got for you tonight.
Go
I'll
Canada.
drop the link to the I will drop the link to the video in the description. Go check it out if you get a chance.
Yep.
Sorry about all the cancellations and all that bullshit that's happening with the fucking show and all that.
Max
That
Harris
sucks.
was ground zero for the coronavirus.
Facts. We love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning
Like
in.
it, share it. Love you,
Everybody
buddy.
have a good night.